I'm sure, like myself, if someone said to you, imagine, what's a great hall in a castle like, you know, when it's in full operation? What you think of is those great movies, you know, from the 1940s, from Errol Flynn. Wild feasting jesters, a dancing bear, and a sword fight in every corner. Actually, there's a lot of truth in that. But really, a place like this, think of it as being a kind of theatre. So here the great state occasions take place, all the pomp and ceremony that you must have. The raised here at the end there, the dais, your grace. Say your grace.
You may continue.
The royal part of the hall. We would not be allowed up here in those days, not without special permission. Think of it though as a kind of stage. For there you have the king, the queen, she's disappeared at the moment. The Privy Council sat around the table, the stained glass windows are like spotlights lighting up the main players' centre stage. The Kingdom of Scotland, they are the main players' centre stage. Above is the cloth of the state, the badge of royal authority. Wherever that is hung, the king is in government. The lower part of the hall, you have the great nobles at the front, in the middle here, the bishops and the clergy, and at the back, the burgesses representing the towns. This is what's called the Three Estates, the Scottish Parliament, and this is the Parliament building of Scotland, which we're governed from. But, in amongst the parliamentary debate, yes, of course, there was great banqueting as well. In December of 1566, Mary Queen of Scots borrows £20,000. In modern money, that's something like 80 to 90 million pounds. And she blew the lot in a 3-day party. Proud of her. It's the baptism of her son, young James. He's 18 months old at this point. And as a centrepiece, they held jousting outside the castle. And in here in the hall, 3 days of banqueting and fireworks outside in the courtyard outside. But the whole event finished with a fight, a punch-up between the Scottish and English guests. The French ambassador had to get between them, bring about the peace. No change there. Young James grows up, becomes James VI of Scotland. He held the baptism for his son Henry in this hall in the year 1594. Now the centrepiece of that is a ship. Here in the middle, 18 feet long, 30 feet to the top of the mast. On board there is a man dressed as Neptune and women dressed as mermaids. They're handing out the fish course to the guests. You've got 36 little brass cannon on this ship, which were real and loaded with blanks, thankfully. They fired a broadside inside the hull. And as the gun smoke clears high up in the rafters, there's a golden globe. It opens up, and inside is a young boy dressed as Cupid. A pair of wings, little gold bow and arrow. And they lower him with a rope, and he's coming down, he's firing his bow and arrow at the guests. On the floor, we've got 12 dwarfs. They've got trousers shaped like goat's legs, little horns and pitchforks. Their job is to run around, and if anyone is not laughing and having fun, they get jagged by the pitchfork. So they do laugh and have fun. And then finally, a man dressed in golden robes and turban pulling a chariot. On board the chariot, women dressed as goddesses hand out sweetmeats to the guests. You know, we still hold banquets in here. Birthday parties, weddings, corporate dues, you name it, we put it in. We've never matched that kind of splendour, mind you. But if anybody feels up to the challenge, please come and talk to us. We're glad to hear from you. Be kind to your bank manager. Well, in 1603, James VI of Scotland becomes James I of England. He went south, he comes back, but after his death, the civil war, the kings come to war, the army take over, and this becomes a military garrison for 300 years. And the army, they've got no use for a medieval parliament hall, banquet hall, so they use it as stables. And in 1790, it's turned into a 3-storey barracks. Now to turn into a barracks, what you do is you put in 2 floors, of course. The hammer beam roof above us, taken away, simple sloping roof with dormer windows. They put internal walls, staircases and fireplaces. They filled in the big windows to create much smaller ones. A row of doors and windows right along this wall here. You really would not recognise this building. But what they also did, it was very unusual for the time, they took very careful engineering drawings of the old building before they changed it. And we still got the drawings. So when the army left, the decision was made, the hall's going back to its former glory. It took a while though to get the money and the expertise together. It was 1990 before work started. 1999, and £8 million later we've got the Great Hall. Above us, an exact copy of that original hammer beam roof. There are 370 oak trees in that roof, 650 tons of wood, and there's not a single nail or screw holding it together. The whole thing is slotted and pegged with wooden pegs. They're called trenails. There's 3,000 of them.